So we'll get started in a seated position. So if you'd like to sit up on your block or book, then go ahead and do that. Otherwise, just making yourself comfortable and just finding a position where you can sit for a few minutes, making any little movements that you need to make to allow your body to come into a sense of stillness, and then letting the eyes gently close down or lowering your gaze. And take a few deeper breaths just to start off with. So see if you can feel the back of your ribs expanding with the inhale. And with the exhale, allowing the shoulders to soften away from the ears, allowing the forehead to soften, and creating some space in between your teeth at the back of your mouth, allowing the jaw to soften. And then bringing your attention to the parts of your body that are in contact with the block or the book or the floor. And really getting a sense of feeling into the parts of your body that are connected to the ground. And keep breathing deeply as you do this, starting to feel into our foundation. And allowing a sense of releasing and letting the body sink down into the mat, the floor, the ground. And then bringing the attention back to focus on the breath. So as you inhale, breathe into the sides of your ribs. And as you exhale, softly draw the low belly towards the spine. And then relax the belly. Inhale, breathe into the sides of the ribs. And exhale, softly draw the low belly in. Again, relax the low belly before you inhale. And then inhale, breathing into the sides of the ribs. Taking a few more breaths like that, starting to really explore the feeling sense of breathing. So it's very easy for the mind to take over with its stories and judgments and ideas, and just see if you can fascinate on the feeling sense of your breath as it moves in and out. Really getting a sense of arriving into your body with this feeling sense into the space. And then we'll take a few breaths in a box breath. So we'll breathe in for a count of 5, hold for a count of 5, breathe out for a count of 5, and hold for a count of 5. If at any point it doesn't feel right for your body, then you just breathe in whatever way works for you. I'll count a few for us together. Exhale all of the way out. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold the breath in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And hold the breath out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold the breath in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And hold the breath out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take 3 more rounds with your own count. Really allowing yourself to focus on what it feels like in your body, the breath being fully in or the breath being fully out. Whenever you're done, just allowing the breath to come back into an easy breath in and out through the nose. And this evening, I'd really like you to focus on a sense of stability and foundation in your connection with the ground, and a sense of strength. So I was reflecting on what helps me in my own physical practice. And one of the things that really helps me is that allowing myself to really feel into the strength in my own body in a feeling sense way. But I'd really like you to do that and focus on your integrity. So make sure that you can take a deep breath in whatever we're doing. And if you can't take a deep breath, back off. Draw yourself back a bit. Allow the feeling sense of your breath to guide you however deep you'd like to go this evening. So we'll start in Baddha Konasana with the soles of the feet together and bring it reasonably wide so you're in like a diamond shape with your legs. And stay sat up on your block if that helps to lift your spine up a little bit and keep the chest lifted. Bring the right hand down in line with the right hip and release the head and the neck over towards the right hand side. Take an inhale and reach the left arm up and over into a side bend. And then exhale, soften your left sitting bone down into the ground. Take another inhale here, expanding that space in between your ribs and your hips, all of the way down the left side of the body. And exhale, relax your jaw. Draw yourself slowly back up to center and come straight over to the other side, bringing the left hand down, releasing the head and the neck. Inhale, reach the right arm up. And exhale, allow that right hip to relax as much as it can down into the mat. Inhale, expanding the space all the way down the right side of the body. And exhale, softening the jaw, creating space between your teeth at the back of your mouth. And then draw yourself up to center. Bring the hands onto your knees, and we'll take some cat-cow movements. So inhale, lift the chest, draw the shoulders back and down. And then exhale, round, draw the low belly in. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, round. Inhale, lift the chest, draw the shoulder blades away from the ears. And exhale, draw the chin in, draw the low belly in. And then come back to center and release your right ear to your right shoulder. Just allow the hands to be alongside of the body. And then draw the chin in towards the chest. And then release the left ear to the left shoulder. And take a few breaths, just gently rolling out your neck here, moving the head from side to side, allowing the shoulders to stay softened away from the ears. And breathing into the sides of your neck and the back of your neck. Good. And then coming back to center, drawing the knees together and bringing the feet down at the top of the mat with the knees bent, and using the hands to hold onto the back of the hamstrings, lifting the chest up and drawing the shoulder blades back and down, drawing the low belly in. So option to stay here, taking a few breaths, really getting a sense of drawing up through the pelvic floor, or you can hover your shins off the mat parallel to the ceiling and spread your toes really wide wherever you are. Maybe you want to release the hands out in front of you. And again, focus on the feeling sense of your breath. So if you can't breathe deeply, draw yourself back a step. Really work with wherever your body is today. Feeling the breath in the sides of the ribs. And then hugging the knees in towards the chest and rolling all of the way down onto your back. And keep the left knee hugged in and extend the right leg to straight along the mat. Take an inhale all the way down into the front of that right hip. And then exhale, hug the left knee in towards the chest. Reach away with the ball of your right foot. And then switching the legs over, hugging the right knee in, extending the left leg out. Take an inhale down to the front of that left hip. And then exhale, hug the right knee in, reach out through the ball of the left foot. Good, and then bring the feet down onto the ground, hips width distance apart and parallel to each other. We'll do some abs. Clasp the hands behind the back of the head and send the elbows up towards the ceiling. So the first one is a variation of elbow to knee. Take an inhale into the sides of the ribs. Hold the breath, push the low back down, curl the tailbone, and exhale, lift the left knee up over the left hip, lift the elbows towards the left knee, draw the low belly down. Inhale, bring the left foot down, come back to center. Hold the breath, push the low back down, curl the tailbone. Exhale, lift the elbows to the right knee as the right knee comes up over the right hip and draw the low belly down. Inhale, bring the right foot down, come back to center. Hold the breath, push the low back down, curl the tailbone. Exhale, lift the elbows to the left knee, lift the left shoulder blade up off the mat and draw the low belly down. Inhale, bring the left foot down, hold the breath, push the low back down, curl the tailbone. Exhale, lift the elbows to the right knee as you lift the right shoulder blade up off the mat. Pull the low belly down. Inhale, come back to center. Option to stay with these or to bring the knees up over the hips with the shins just kind of tucking down a little bit, so not quite parallel to the sky, and spread through the toes. Take an inhale all the way down to the low back. Hold the breath, push the low back down, curl the tailbone, squeeze the sitting bones. Exhale, lift the elbows to the left knee, send the right leg straight out at 45 degrees and pull the low belly down. Inhale, come back to center. Hold the breath, push the low back down, curl the tailbone. Exhale, elbows to the right knee, send the left leg out and pull the low belly down. Inhale, come back to center. Hold the breath, push the low back down, curl the tailbone, squeeze the sitting bones. Exhale, elbows to the left knee, send the right leg out. See if you can lift up your left shoulder blade, pull the low belly down. Inhale, come back to center. Hold the breath, push the low back down, curl the tailbone up. Exhale, elbows to the right knee, reach away through the ball of the left foot and pull the low belly down. Inhale to center. Hold the breath, push the low back down, curl the tailbone, squeeze the sitting bones. Exhale, elbows to the left knee, reach away with the right foot, pull the low belly down. And last one of these, inhale, come to center. Hold the breath, push the low back down, curl the tailbone, squeeze the sitting bones. Exhale, elbows to the right knee, reach away through the ball of the left foot, pull the low belly down. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, release the head, bring the hands onto the knees and take some circles with the knees around your hip joints. Breathe deeply all the way down into the sacrum, the lowest part of the back. Good. And then one more set of abs. We'll do frog lifting through. So keeping the knees up over the hips, bring the knees wide so they're in a frog position and spread through the toes. Keep the hands clasped behind the back of the head, send the elbows up. Inhale down into the low back. Exhale, lift the elbows forwards, curl the pubic bone in towards the belly button and pull the low belly down. Inhale, relax the pelvis down. Exhale, lift the elbows forwards through the thighs, reach out through the knees, pull the low belly down. Inhale, relax the pelvis down. Exhale, lift the elbows, curl the pubic bone in towards the belly button, pull the belly down. One more, inhale, relax the pelvis down. And exhale, reach through the knees, curl the pubic bone in and pull the low belly down. Inhale, release the head. Bring the hands either side of the thighs. Draw the thighs together and then bring the feet down. Spread through the toes. Take an inhale into the sides of the ribs. And then exhale, push through your feet, come up into a bridge pose. And allow the forehead and the back of the head to relax here. And get a sense of spreading through the bones of your feet. And then breathing really deeply, expanding the space between the ribs and the hips with the breath. Maybe getting a sense of the tailbone tucking under just a little bit, lengthening the sitting bones towards the hamstrings. Really feeling or starting to feel the legs. But keeping the breath deep. Take one more inhale at the top, and then exhale, curl the upper, middle, and lower part of the back down to the mat. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Move yourself a little bit from side to side, and then start to rock forwards and backwards along the length of the spine. Eventually coming up into a seated position. And come forwards and sit on your knees. So either sat on the knees with the feet, the tops of the feet on the mat, or if you'd like to stretch out the bottoms of your feet and this doesn't feel unhelpful for you, then you can sit back on your heels with the toes tucked under. Bring the elbows in alongside of the waist with the palms facing up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale and breathe into the upper arms, into the sides of the ribs. And then exhale, draw the thumbs out wide, squeeze the shoulders together and down. Inhale, draw the pinky fingers together in front of the body. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together and down the back. Keep the elbows alongside the waist. Inhale, draw the pinky fingers together. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together and down. Two more like that. Inhale, breathe into the sides of your ribs. And exhale out. And one more. Great. We'll come straight into a dolphin pose. Bring your forearms down onto the mat and measure the distance between the elbows by grabbing around the upper arms. And clasp the hands together in front of your elbows, or if you're feeling like your shoulders are open, you can bring the palms down. Relax the back of the head and the back of the neck. And get a sense of drawing the shoulders away from the ears and wrapping the shoulders. So squeezing the elbows in towards each other. Taking an inhale into the space in between the shoulder blades. An option to stay here or to tuck the toes under and lift the hips up into dolphin. And allowing the breath to be really full and really deep. So pushing down strongly through the forearms, lifting the hips up and back. And having as much of a bend in the knees as you need to try and get some length in the spine. So aiming for a line all the way from the elbows up towards the sitting bones. Drawing those hips back. And whenever the breath stops being full, bring the knees down and just take a pause. We'll take up to 3 more breaths here. Squeezing the elbows in. Like my breath length, which is maybe quite long. Good, and then walk yourself back into a forearm plank. Bring the shoulders over the elbows and reach the toes out behind you. Tuck the tailbone under. You can bring your knees down here if that feels more helpful for your body. And again, breathe into the sides of the ribs and squeeze the elbows in. Draw the shoulders into their sockets. Good, and then bring your hips down and come into a Sphinx pose. So keeping the forearms down, pushing down through the tops of the feet, and start to lengthen the chest forwards through the arms, drawing the shoulder blades away from the ears. And allow the breath to really fill the upper part of the back. If the low back feels sensitive, tuck the tailbone a little bit. Push down through the pubic bone. And maybe just take the gaze up. So not cranking the neck back, but just lifting the gaze up. Drawing the shoulder blades down. Good, and then from here, pushing back up onto your hands and knees, coming into a tabletop. And bringing the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. Spreading the fingers really wide. And then taking some little circles around your wrists. So just transferring the weight into the different parts of your hands. And just tuning in and noticing how the wrists feel this evening. Saying hello to them. And then taking the circles the other way. Good, and then coming back to center, taking a little bit of cat-cow movement here. So inhale, dropping the belly, open the chest. Exhale, rounding the spine, drawing the chin and the low belly in. Push the mat away. Take a few more breaths, either in a cat-cow or in any other movement that feels good for your body, around your shoulders, around your hips. Good, and then tuck the toes under and lift back up into downward facing dog. So now getting a sense of pushing the ground away with your hands, putting a bend in your knees and lifting the sitting bones up and back. And making any movement that feels good, keeping the breath full and deep into the back of the body. And then inhale, lift the right leg up into the air. And really reach away through the ball of the right foot. Spread through the hands, make a really long line from the fingertips to the toes of the right foot. And then open that right hip towards the ceiling, maybe bending the knee, and just take a breath there, feeling into the front of that right hip. And bring the right foot down. Inhale, reach the left leg up. Exhale, reach away with the ball of the left foot, feeling a long line from the fingertips all the way up to the ball of the left foot. And then opening the left hip, maybe bending the knee. And releasing the left foot down. And starting to walk your feet forwards to the top of the mat and coming into a standing forward fold. Maybe bring the thumbs to the inner elbows or just letting the arms release down. And taking any movement through the upper body, but staying really strong and stable through the low body. And breathing deeply into the low back and the belly, allowing the back of the head and the neck to relax. And then push down through your heels, release the arms, and come up into a half lift position. So the hands might be on the thighs with the chest drawing forwards, or the hands might be on the shins. And really get a sense of rooting into the heels and pushing the heels outwards, so kind of wide on the mat, turning on the glutes. Drawing the low belly in, and then bringing the arms wide in line with the shoulders into like a cactus position, like this. Take an inhale and draw the shoulder blades back, and then exhale, bring the elbows together underneath the chest. Inhale, open the chest, and exhale, squeeze the elbows together. Keep rooting through your heels. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, bringing the elbows together. One more like that. Inhale, open the chest. And exhale, bring the elbows together. Then put a bend in your right knee. Bring the right fingertips down to the mat. And reach the left arm up for a twist. Drawing the left shoulder blade back in towards the spine. Good, switching over, bringing the left fingertips down, bending the left knee, and reaching the right arm up into the air. Relaxing the back of the head and the back of the neck. Good, and then release the right hand down. Draw the low belly in, and slowly roll yourself up into a standing position. And take a few rolls of your shoulders when you get to the top. And then pause a moment, close the eyes, and again focus on the feeling sense of the feet on the ground, the feet softening into the mat. And then get a sense of drawing the crown of the head back over the sacrum, lifting across the front of the chest. Take an inhale through the nose and exhale out through the mouth. And then opening the eyes, inhale, reach the arms up into the air for suns. Exhale, fold forwards, draw the belly in. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back into a plank position. Take one inhale here. Drop the knees down, draw the shoulders away from the ears. And exhale, lower down onto your belly. Bring the hands forward with the shoulders. Push through the tops of the feet. Take an inhale to lift the heart up into a cobra. And exhale, push back into a downward facing dog. And find the breath again here. Tuning into what feels right for you. And again, drawing back or doing more if it feels better for your body. Inhale, bend the knees, look forwards. Exhale, step or jump, top of the mat, standing forward fold. Inhale, reach the arms up into the air. Exhale, draw the hands back to heart center. And again, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forwards, draw the belly in. Inhale, half lift. This time, exhale, step the left foot back and bring the left knee down. Inhale, reach the arms up into the air. And exhale, push down through that right foot and your left shin. Draw the pubic bone towards the belly button. Inhale, spread the sides of the ribs. Exhale, plank. Option to drop the knees down as you lower down to your belly. Inhale, drawing the ribs forwards into cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take one inhale in your downward facing dog. Exhale, step the left foot forwards. If it needs some help to get there, just hold on to the left ankle and bring it forwards. Bring the right knee down. Inhale, reach the arms up into the air. And exhale, push through the left foot. Curl the pubic bone in towards the belly button. Take another inhale here. And exhale, standing forward fold, top of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, draw the hands back to heart center. And one more, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forwards, belly draws in. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, left foot back, left knee down. Inhale, reach the arms up. Option to tuck the back toes under. And exhale, reach away through that back heel and hover the back knee. Keep the hips nice and low if you can. Take another couple of breaths here, really getting a sense of drawing the inner thighs in towards each other. So feeling that strength and integrity in your legs. Nice words for burning. And then release the hands down. Step back into a plank pose. Take an inhale here. And exhale, lower yourself to the mat. Inhale, back bend. And exhale, downward facing dog. Again, one inhale in your downward facing dog. Exhale, step the left foot forwards. Bring the right knee down. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Option to tuck the right toes under, reach away through that right heel, keeping the hips low to the ground. Inhale, breathe really deeply into the sides of the ribs. And exhale, reach away through the right heel and forwards through the left shin. Bring the hands down, standing forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms up into the air. And exhale, draw the hands back to heart center. And just pause and take a deep breath. Again here, breathing into the sides of your ribs. And then put a bend in your knees and use an inhale to come up into a chair pose. And an exhale to option, come up onto your tiptoes. Get a sense of the sitting bones lengthening down, so you're not totally tucked under, but the sitting bones are long, so the bum is working. Take another breath in here. And then exhale, standing forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to step or jump back. Option to come straight into downward facing dog or through a vinyasa. Take an inhale and lift the right leg up into the air, and then bend the right knee, open the right hip. And exhale, step the right foot forwards for warrior two. So turn the back foot out the long length of the mat and keep a bend in the front knee. Check that the front knee is tracking forwards to the front of the mat. And then bring your hands onto your hips. And if the back hip is kind of lifted up and rolling forwards, see if you can bring your back hip in line with your front hip. And then get a slight sense of tucking the tailbone under, not totally under, but just enough so your left glute muscle is working. And then spread the toes of the back foot. Release the arms down alongside the body. We'll take some shoulder shrugs. Inhale, breathe into the upper back. Lift the shoulders up, send them back. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together and draw them down the back. Inhale, breathe into the upper back. Send the shoulders up and back. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together, drawing them down the back. One more. Inhale, breathe into the upper back. Lift the shoulders up and back. Try and get the shoulders to do the work. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together, draw them down the back. And then take an inhale, bring the arms out in your warrior two. And then exhale, eagle arms, bringing the right arm underneath the left arm. Either the backs of the forearms come together or the palms come together. And take an inhale, breathe deeply into the space in between the shoulder blades. And exhale, squeeze the elbows together, send the elbows forwards, and then relax the back of the neck. And take a couple of breaths here, checking in with your deep breath and checking in with your feet. So keep spreading the toes on the mat. Option to stay here or to fold forwards. You can either fold forwards kind of straight in between the legs, or you can fold more towards your front leg into more like a humble warrior. And if you're folding, get a sense of relaxing the back of the neck, but pushing really strongly through both of your feet. Good, and then release the arms. Everybody bring the hands down either side of your right foot and come onto the toes of your back foot. We'll take a twist, bring the left hand down and reach the right arm up into the air. Reaching away through the heel of that left foot and drawing the right shoulder blade in towards the spine. Release the right hand down, step back into a plank position. Option to come through a vinyasa or straight into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up into the air from your downward facing dog. Bend the left knee and open the left hip. And exhale, step the left foot forwards for warrior two, bringing the arms out. And same, often my back hip like hikes up, which just makes me lazy. Draw the back hip down, so the hip bones are in line, and spread through the toes of your back foot. Bring the arms back out, and then put a bend in the elbow this time for kite hawk. Inhale, draw the shoulders back, open the chest up. Exhale, roll the shoulders forwards, draw the low belly in. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest. Exhale, roll the shoulders forwards, draw the belly in. Take another couple like that. Try to move from your shoulders. Good, bring the arms back out and bring the left elbow underneath the right elbow for eagle arms. Take an inhale to spread the shoulder blades apart And exhale, send the elbows forward, squeezing the elbows together. And if you've backed off with your warrior two legs, see if you can just deepen the lunge a little bit in that front knee. Option to stay here, or to fold forwards, bringing the elbows down towards the ground, relaxing the back of the head and the back of the neck. Noticing the breath again. See if you can tune into the feeling sense of the breath, wherever it's moving you. Release the arms down, frame the front foot, come onto the toes of your back foot, and then take an inhale, reaching the left arm up into a twist. Breathe into the sides of your ribs, and exhale, draw the right shoulder away from the ear. Draw the left shoulder blade in towards the spine. Release the left hand down. Step back into a plank position. And then lower all the way down onto the mat. Bring your elbows in line with your shoulders into a cactus position. And push through the tops of the feet. We'll come into a boat with shoulder shrugs. So inhale, breathe into the upper back and lift the upper back and the elbows off the mat. If the back feels happy, you can also float the feet off the mat. Inhale, spread the sides of the ribs. Exhale, squeeze the elbows alongside of the waist, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Inhale, bringing the elbows wide. Exhale, squeeze the elbows along the waist, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale, bring the elbows forwards. Exhale, squeeze the elbows, reach out through the balls of your feet. One more, inhale, elbows forwards. And exhale, squeeze the elbows together. Bring the whole body down onto the mat. Bring one side of your face onto the mat. Take a couple of deep breaths down into the low back. And with your exhales, feel the weight of the body settle down into the ground. And then push yourself back into a tabletop position and just take a couple of rounds of cat-cow. Inhaling to sink the belly and open the chest, and exhaling to round. And then meeting back in a downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up into the air. Exhale, step the right foot forwards for warrior one. The back foot's at 45 degrees with a bend in the front knee. And the hips are more square towards the front of the mat. The shoulders are square forwards. Inhale, reach the arms up into the air. And exhale, push through the outer edge of your back foot. Inhale, breathe into the sides of the ribs. And exhale, cactus the arms, open the chest. Inhale, reach the arms up. Reach through the back foot. Exhale, cactus the arms, open the chest. Couple with a lion's breath. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, sticking the tongue out. Making the face really wide. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, lion's breath. One more. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, lion's breath. Good. We'll come into a twist. So option to stay with your warrior one legs in your twist, bringing your left elbow over the right thigh, or you can drop the left knee down and then bring the left elbow over the right thigh. Either a fist in the left hand with the right hand on top, or the palms can come together. And inhale again, breathe into the sides of the ribs. Exhale, lengthen the sitting bones down and draw the center of your chest towards your hands. Good. Release the hands down either side of the front foot and step back either through a vinyasa or straight into your downward facing dog. Meeting in downward facing dog. Taking an inhale and lifting the left leg up into the air. Exhale, step the left foot forwards for warrior one. Again, back foot at 45 degrees with a bend in the front knee. Inhale, reach the arms up into the air. And then exhale, push through the outer edge of your back foot. That back leg is really active, and that's how your lower back is protected. And then clasp the hands behind the back of the head with the elbows up towards the ceiling. This one in Forrest Yoga is called brain cradling. The idea is that you totally release the neck muscles into the arms, into the hands. And inhale, breathe into the sides of the ribs. Exhale, send the elbows up towards the ceiling. Spread the toes of your back foot. And as much as you can, with the breath in integrity, so deep breath, see if you can lift your heart a little bit higher up. Good, release the arms. We'll come into a twist. So either the back knee comes down, or you hook your right elbow over the left thigh with the leg still in warrior one. And a fist in the right hand with the left hand on top. Breathe into the sides of the ribs. And breathe out, tuck the sitting bones. Draw the chest towards the hands. Good. And then bring the hands down to frame the front foot. Tuck the back toes under if the knee's down, and come into a wide-legged stance and stand up. The feet are parallel, spreading through the outer edges of your feet. Bring the hands onto the hips. Take an inhale and open across the front of the chest, and then exhale, folding forwards. We'll take flank stretch here. So bring your your right hand onto your left leg, and it can be anywhere. It can be thigh, it can be calf, it can be ankle, it can be foot. Bring the left hand on top, so both of your hands are on that left leg. Relax the back of the head and the back of the neck. And then take an inhale and start to draw your upper body towards your right leg. And your head might rest on your right upper arm. And you're aiming to breathe into the right side of the ribs here, aiming to get a stretch all of the way down the right side of the body. Good, and then walk the hands through center, bring the hands over to the other side. So the left hand goes onto the right leg with the right hand on top. And then relax the upper body down towards the ground. Start to send the upper body towards the left leg. Inhale, breathe into the left side of the ribs. And exhale, relax the back of the head and the back of the neck. And then release, draw the hands back to center. Draw the low belly in, put a bend in the knees and slowly roll back up. And take a roll or two of your shoulders. And then bring your hands to frame your right foot or your front foot and step back into a downward facing dog. And then bring your knees down onto the ground. And sit up on your knees with your hips above your knees. We'll just take a few breaths in a camel pose before we release down to the mat. So bring your hands onto your hips with your thumbs onto the little bony bits at the bottom of the back. And start to open the chest and squeeze your elbows together. And then get a sense of drawing the pubic bone in towards the belly button, lengthen the sitting bones down. And to start off with, take a few breaths and with your inhale, lift your chest straight up. Exhale, squeeze the elbows together, open across the front of the chest. Keep drawing the pubic bone in towards the belly button. Option to stay here, lifting the chest up. Or maybe you want to bring the hands back towards the heels. You might want to tuck the toes under. Aim to keep your hips over your knees if you're going back. And the chin can either stay in towards the chest or you can relax the head back. Good. Everybody draw the chin in towards the chest. Slowly roll up. And then bring the hands onto the ground, come into a tabletop position and take a few breaths in a cat-cow again. Making any movement through your upper body and around your hips that feels good. And then release back into a child's pose. Bring the forehead down towards the mat. If the forehead doesn't reach the mat, maybe stack your fists on top of each other so that you can rest your forehead on something. And the arms can come out in front of you or they can come alongside of the body. And use your breath to invite space into your low back. Use your exhale to relax the upper body as much as you can down into the ground, down onto your hips. Good, and then slowly roll yourself back up. And then just come onto your bum and bring your legs out in front of you. Bring the soles of the feet together again for Baddha Konasana. Bring the hands out behind you, lift the chest up. And close the eyes here. Take a few breaths deep down into your hips and your pelvis. With your exhales, just get a sense of, as much as you can, of releasing and softening through the hip joints, the hip flexors, the sitting bones. Good, and then draw the knees together and bring your legs out into a straddle. So if in a straddle it helps to sit up on a block or a book, then go ahead and do that. If it helps to have your knees bent, do that. And everybody start with the hands behind the back and get a real sense of kind of lengthening and opening the chest forwards and up. Keep your toes spreading. And this might be enough. You might want to stay here. If you feel comfortable that the legs can be in contact with the ground, you might want to take the hands forwards and start to draw the chest down towards the ground. And wherever you are, we're going to take 5 breaths here, or 5 more breaths. So finding a way to soften the shoulders, to soften the forehead and the jaw. and to allow the body to sink down into the ground. And then gently roll yourself back up to center if you're folding. Bring the hands under the knees and then draw the knees together. Bring the feet out in front of you along the mat and reach the arms out at shoulder height. Plug the shoulders into the sockets, draw the low belly in, and start to roll yourself down onto your back. So if you can, bring your low back down first, then the middle part of the back, and then the upper back. And bring your legs straight up towards the ceiling with your ankles above your hips. And just shake the legs out a little bit. So relaxing all of the muscles and really getting a sense of connection with the low back and the ground. Good, and then bring the hands onto the knees. Either take a few breaths just rolling the hips around the knee joints or taking a happy baby pose. The hands can be on the backs of the thighs in your happy baby or on the ankles or the feet. Keeping the breath deep down into the hips and the low part of the back. And softening the shoulders. Good, and then releasing that and drawing the left knee in, extending the right leg out on the mat, taking a twist. Bringing the right hand onto the left knee, the left arm comes alongside of the body. And then shuffle your right hip underneath your left one as you draw that left knee over towards the right. And again, invite the breath deeply down into the lowest part of your back. With your exhale, allow the left shoulder to soften down in towards the ground. If it doesn't meet the ground, just let it soften towards. Noticing where or if you feel a stretch. Sending the breath to the place that you feel the stretch. Draw yourself back to center and switch over the legs, hugging the right knee in, sending the left leg out, and then twisting to the other side, drawing that right knee towards the left, reaching the right arm out. And breathing into the sides of the ribs. Breathing into the low back. Or just breathing anywhere that you feel a stretch. Good, and then drawing yourself back to center. And either bring your feet wide on your mat, so the knees bent and the knees dropping in towards the center, or bring the soles of the feet together, letting the knees drop wide. So you're in Baddha Konasana, lying down. Option to bring one hand over your low belly and one hand over your heart. And let the eyes close here. Invite your breath to fill the space below your belly button, to fill your pelvis. As you exhale, allow the hips to soften down into the ground. And now invite the breath to fill the heart space. The front, the sides and the back. And exhale, just soften that heart space, letting it release. And taking a couple of breaths, connecting your belly, your hips, and your heart. Filling the whole of your torso with one inhale. With the exhale, letting the body soften down. Good. And then from here, we'll move into Shavasana. With taking any other movements that you'd like to make, taking a blanket, if you'd like a blanket, or a jumper or some socks. And just finding a position that feels comfortable to rest in. If you're lying on your back, tuck the tailbone under, let the heels come wide so your feet can drop out towards the edge. Shuffle the shoulders away from the ear and bring the palms up towards the ceiling. Allowing the back of the head and the neck to be nice and long. And taking a few moments here to let go of any conscious control of the breath, allowing the body to breathe itself. And allowing yourself this space to stop, to unwind, to let go, to release. In whatever way feels right for you. And then just taking these few moments in silence, let the body unwind itself from the practice. And then deepening your breath a little bit, starting to bring back some conscious control into the breath. Making some little movements with your fingers and with your toes. Maybe taking a stretch, reaching the arms all the way up over your head. And then hugging the knees in towards the chest and rolling over to whichever side feels comfortable for you. And just resting on the side of your body. Letting anything else that needs to be let go, go. And then gently bringing yourself back up into a comfortable seat. Bring your hands together in front of the heart space. Lengthen through the back of the neck and lower your gaze. And invite a few deeper feeling breaths into the space around your heart. Allowing yourself to connect into that spaciousness, or whatever it is that you feel there or don't feel there. And we'll close the practice with the sound of an Om together, if you'd like to Om, otherwise you can just listen. Taking a deep breath in. Thank you for the privilege. Namaste. Thank you all for sharing your practice. Hope you have a lovely week. If anyone wants to ask any questions or say hello, then feel free. Otherwise, take care of yourselves.
Bye, Alice.
Forrest.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.